picks in New York sports history.
I did contribute to the list because I voted. Just
You
like
did.
everyone out there could have voted
That's
as
true.
well.
That's true.
And I hope you listened to Evan and voted.
That's right. We did open it up to the people, and that's half of how your voice was heard.
Right, and if you didn't vote, I don't want to hear from you.
That's right. Shut your mouth. But we did open up WFAN.com/draft for you to vote on who you think were the greatest draft picks in New York sports history over the last 50 years. There is also a very select panel of dignitaries, okay? I don't even know who's on the panel of dignitaries. I just know there's a panel of dignitaries who were given the other 50% to help put this list together. So we'll argue about it. We'll cry about it. But I want to remind you, I didn't make the freaking list. Okay? Tiki didn't make the freaking list.
I voted.
He voted. I voted too. I went to WFAN.com/vote. Lukey voted too, right, Tommy?
I sure did.
Can I tell you something? I voted for myself.
Did you really?
Of course. How could I not?
Baller move.
Good
How could
for
I
you.
not?
Good for you. I don't have any problem with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's how it's going to work. Every day at 4 o'clock, hello, it's 4 o'clock here on WFAN, we will unveil 4 people starting at number 20. So today we will hear number 20, number 19, number 18, number 17. We'll do the same thing Tuesday, the same thing Thursday, the same thing Friday. We basically don't have a show Wednesday, hence why there's no list on Wednesday. And then a week from tomorrow, on the eve of the NFL draft, we will announce the final 4, including the greatest draft pick in New York history. So, without any further ado, presented to you, of course, by H.L. Gross Jewelers of Garden City, Evan and Tiki's Top 20. We start with number 20.
Number 20, with the 7th pick in the first round of the 1979 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Phil Simms from Morehead State.
Simms to Bavaro, touchdown.
Well, that's the touchdown of Bavaro in the Super Bowl, one of the great Super Bowl performances of all time. Phil Simms at number 20.
That's a solid one.
It's not bad.
I thought he would be a little higher. 2-time champion.
You already bitching
right?
about this?
I'm just saying. He's 2-time champion. He's like iconic. He's New York. He feels like the guy who started this whole thing with the New York Giants, right?
Had he been healthier and actually won the second Super Bowl instead of
he
Hostetler,
did.
he rises.
He drove the team there.
I'm with you, but that probably knocks him down a peg. Technically, he was only part of one playoff run for a ring.
Well, let's find out who's ahead of him on this given day. Number 19.
Number 19, in the 19th round of the 1979 MLB Draft, the New York Yankees select Don Mattingly from Reitz Memorial High School in Evansville, Indiana.
Don Mattingly. The fans want a dinger out of him. This one by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof. Goodbye, home run. Don Mattingly.
That may have been the loudest Yankee Stadium ever was when he hit that home run against the Mariners in 1995. Number 19, Don Mattingly.
19?
This is going to be an esteemed list if these two guys are on the back end
He was
of
taken
it.
in the 19th round. Okay.
Well, so first of all, because he was taken in the 19th round, he needed to be higher? Is that what you're suggesting?
Correct me if I'm wrong. The list is the top 20 draft picks of the last 50 years.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So shouldn't you be risen a peg if you had no expectation and were taking that late in the
You
draft?
exceeded your value.
Yeah.
Significantly exceeded your
I
value.
can see that point, but, for Don Mattingly to go to the Hall of Fame, he needs to buy a ticket.
Right now.
I'm just saying. I'm just laying it out there. I don't think there's anything wrong with number 19.
Sounds like a Met hater.
Yeah, you're starting a team right now. You want Harold Baines or Don Mattingly?
First of all, is Harold Baines on this freaking list?
He's in the Hall of Fame. You're going to make the Hall of
Right.
Fame quip. You better be ready to answer for it.
All right. So far we got Phil Simms at number 20, Don Mattingly at 19. I think that's very respectable. It seems like both you guys are perturbed about this. Let's hear number 18.
Number 18, with the 36th pick in the second round of the 1997 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Tiki Barber from the University of Virginia.
The 5-yard penalty. Barber breaks to the second level and beyond. Tiki Barber down the sideline. Getting a block downfield and another one from Burris. And Barber will take it the distance. 95-yard Giant touchdown. Wow. Plexico, Burris, and Sean O'Hara work all the way, and Barber takes it for one of the longest longest touchdowns in Giant history.
How does that make you feel?
The longest rushing touchdown in Giants history.
He didn't know Tirico at the time. He's making a call, seat of his pants. Does that give you good memories?
Oh, that was a great one.
I mean, do we have an issue here? I love you, Tiki. Ahead of Don Mattingly and Phil Simms.
That game won us the division that year.
Yeah. And let's call it like a seed. He won't say it. Tiki Barber saved the coach's job who would lead us to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Now, Tiki, just hold on for a second.
I voted for myself. I made it. I'm happy. I'm content. I don't care what else happens.
He's good.
I'm good.
Sean, as a Giant fan.
Yeah.
And Giant fans, Tiki is very comfortable in his own skin. So you can have this debate in front of him, right? It's okay to have this debate.
I truly do not care.
Are we good with Tiki being ranked higher than Phil Simms? Are we okay with that? Are you okay with that?
Tiki Barber is a better Giant all time than Phil Simms.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you,
No,
Sean.
He's a Super Bowl MVP, and I get that. Phil Simms was not the best player at his position in Giant history. Tiki Barber was.
I went to Pro Football Reference while that clip was being played.
Okay.
And I very quickly did some research. They have this thing called Hall of Fame rating. Are you familiar with this?
They also have a thing called AV, approximate value.
Oh, I should have done AV. I did Hall of Fame rating to see where Phil and Tiki are. Very close. Tiki has the edge. So that backed up Tiki being 2 slots ahead of him. Now, you have to look at AAV and tell me what it says.
Right. So Phil Simms, though, however, his number, we were talking, who was I was talking about this with Zach Martin. Phil Simms' number is retired. Oh. Because we were trying to think of who's the next Giant number to get retired. Because Eli's already retired. Strahan's already retired.
I mean, you're ahead of Phil Simms on this very important list. I think this is some evidence for you.
You mean they didn't give 11 to a kicker, T?
No. And he probably retired it right away.
Just one more note on this.
Yeah.
Tiki, close your ears. You know why he deserves to be one of the top 20 draft picks of all time?
Go ahead.
Because the Giants didn't use a first-round pick on a running back on him.
All right, so we got Phil Simms at 20. We got Donnie Baseball at 19. We got Tiki at 18. Let's close out the day with number 17.
Number 17, with the 38th pick in the first round of the 2001 MLB Draft, the New York Mets select David Wright from Hickory High School in Chesapeake, Virginia.
What is New York going to get out of this guy, their captain, David Wright? He's had the bad back. He's got spinal stenosis. Played less than 40 games in the regular season. It's a cold night. High fly ball to left. Back at the wall, and the captain's going deep to the left.
I didn't know how that would make me feel. David Wright ahead of Don Mattingly.
What are we doing here? Now we know the list is fixed. You made it all.
How did I make it?
David Wright ahead of Don Mattingly, dude.
Dude,
When David Baseball becomes a nickname, we could have this conversation.
You want to do this?
Well, that's what we're here for, Ev,
You
right?
want to do this?
Yeah, let's do this.
Look up Don Mattingly's numbers compared to David Wright, and I want you to have a conversation.
Okay.
Want to have a conversation?
Slightly better WAR. Don Mattingly
Slightly
more
better
hit.
WAR.
Don Mattingly more hits.
Well, hold on a second. So David Wright had a slightly better WAR, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
It's by 7. It's by a full 7 points. But why don't you talk about how many games Donnie played compared to how many games David played? You want to mention that? Because WAR is a counting stat. So if Don Mattingly played in more games, that would make it even more impressive that David has a higher WAR. So why don't you tell the audience, or do you want me to do it for you?
Okay.
So it's cumulative.
Correct.
Right.
Give me more hits, and I'm sorry.
More hits.
With all due respect.
Who had a higher on base? Who had a higher slugging?
Right.
Who had a higher OPS? Who had more seasons of 900 OPS or more? Who?
Good for your OPS.
And by the
David
way,
Wright, great.
here's the caveat. Here's the touchdown dance. How'd Donnie do in a World Series?
Here's the difference.
How'd he
Ev.
do?
Okay.
Did he do anything, or did he not even get there?
Evan,
okay.
If you had in their prime a team in the World Series and you could pick one guy to come up pitch hit, it's going to be David Wright or Don Mattingly.
That's not the question.
No. That's a big question because if you're going to say David Wright was on a better team than Don Mattingly ever was, I don't want to hear about the World Series thing. David Wright was the poster boy for a fan base that never had anywhere close to what the Yankees had in a dynasty. So therefore, he gets risen up by enormous pegs by Met fans. The truth is,
No.
he has similar statistics and
Exactly.
slightly better than
Okay,
Don Mattingly.
so say that,
Don Mattingly is absolutely the better baseball player you'd rather have.
No. Leave that last part in. Leave that last part in because that matters. They had a similar career 100%. That's why they're right next to each other,
Did
basically.
David Wright
in this.
versus shake a stadium the way Don Mattingly did with that home run
Did
versus
you
Seattle?
just hear that home run against the Royals?
Yeah, meek.
Oh, shut your mouth. He had a world's...
David
you're
Wright
being a hater, Sean.
David Wright is a good baseball
Why you gotta
player,
disparage
but a
David
product
Wright?
of Met desperation.
Why you got to disparage David Wright?
Not disparaging him.
Just so you can lift Don Mattingly.
If you were an honest baseball fan in New York and you're asking anybody who you'd rather have in their prime, it's Don Mattingly.
Well,
At her peak, you'd rather have Don Mattingly. Get serious.
Well, hold on. When you discuss the merits of two baseball players, there's a lot of aspects of it. If your argument against me, and this is the argument any Donnie baseball shill fan would have, is, hey, at his best, he was better than David Wright. Okay. The guy won an MVP. I totally get that. But that's not the simple way you just judge a player. You got to look at their whole careers. And here's what's really unfortunate. They had similar careers, and it sucks, man. It sucks that a back injury ended David's career, and it sucks that a back injury ended Donnie's career. No one's denying that.
All right.
We never got the best of both guys. But when you look at their overall careers, and you even said it, David's got similar numbers. No, he's got better numbers over the course of his career. He just does. The difference is, you talk about Met fans putting him on a pedestal. You're right, we do. And you do the same thing with Mattingly. They're actually really similar. And what I'm so proud about with this list is that I'm not telling you it's slam dunk David's better. I'm telling you it's close. And David has the edge. And this list got it right. The dignitaries and those who voted, you got it right. Because David deserves it. Just like Met fans are desperate for him, you guys were desperate for Donnie. Tiki, I think there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Again, I'm going to come back to this. Even if you say David Wright has slightly better statistics than Nor at their peak, David Wright was taken with the 38th overall pick.
Now you're doing draft value.
No, but that matters. The top 4 bang for your buck. Don Mattingly taken in the 19th round for what he provided over what David Wright got at 38th overall. Don Mattingly is undoubtedly a better draft pick.
Better value, you could say.
But that has to be taken into account. We're not doing a who's the top 20 players.
Anybody has it was whatever your criteria was. Whatever it was. It could have been war.
I think that's, by the way, Tiki's got it right. Like, I respect that you're looking at where he was taken, but
some people might not even cared about that.
Should I take into account that David Wright was taken because they lost Mike Hampton in free agency? So in a lot of ways, it was no, hold on. So in a lot of ways, it was a clutch draft pick. The Mets just lost this preeminent free agent, and they replaced him with a big prospect who turned out to be a star. Should that be a factor, or does that not matter to you?
No, it does matter. My point is, though, to break a close enough tie, which I think we can agree, all right, even if I'm coming that it's closer than I want, if we're doing top 20 draft picks of the last 50 years, not top 20 players of the last 50 years, being taken in the 19th round over somebody taking 38th overall has to be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, it probably was. It probably got Donnie from 21 to 19. Congratulations.
I almost cursed. Forget it. You're a you-know-what.
What have I said that's wrong?
You're a dildo head.
You can't say that to me.
I said it.
No, you know what it is? He's a Met fan. You're a Yankee fan.
True.
It's just how this is going to be debated out. By the way, my AV was higher than Phil's. And he had 4 more years.
So we feel pretty good about Tiki over Phil Simms. Like, that is a...
Yes.
We feel good about this. Okay. Well, you guys are biased over that.
You don't feel good about David Wright.
Well, I want to just...
They don't, or he doesn't.
By the way, Tiki's better than David Wright.
You want to do that, Tiki? You think you're better than David
I'll
Wright?
do it for you. You're a better draft pick than David Wright.
Why would you base it? Well, what's that based on?
This is also what we're talking about.
The best running back in Giants history.
It's the draft pick. The draft pick.
Okay, so...
We're not talking about the player. We're talking about the draft pick. It's a nuanced difference, but there is a difference.